Welcome back, everybody, to the Attic Hour podcast. Today, it is Seth and I holding down the fort, and we have Brett is back on, and
Yes, sir.
also is Garrett Lance.
2.0.
Yeah, I think you're our first reoccurring. Well, I guess Brett came back a couple of times.
Yeah, Brett's kind
But
of
he's
Kind of
kinda
not a
extra.
guest, though.
Yeah.
True guest. You're our first
Our first
Double
reoccurring
occurring
true
true.
guest.
by
Yeah.
popular demand.
Yeah, we received great feedback on the history one and had a great time doing it. So
Yeah.
we were like, hey, let's run it back.
Yeah,
No pressure.
I had a good time too. So
No, it was awesome.
Yeah.
The only downside was the cameras were horrible.
I couldn't see you. I was just saw the top of your face.
Yeah,
so
it was
it's just your
horrible.
eyes.
Experimenting.
Yeah. I think we have a much better system now.
Oh, this is so much better.
Yeah, that was in the early days.
Definitely an intimidating podcast last time.
We had like a camera right here. Just like,
Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
2 feet
just-
from your face.
well, you live and you learn, right?
Sure do. What were you talking about? Like you were speeding on 69 and you got a ticket?
Oh yeah. Well, it was on a Saturday morning. Just like 69, it goes from 70 to a 65
Mhm.
for whatever reason. Like when it splits into 3 lanes.
Yeah, I
And
remember that.
I was going 80 in the 70, and I'm like, nah, I'll just keep on going 80. That's what I normally do. I just got unlucky, but
There happened to be a cop there that day.
yeah, just pulled me over, gave me a ticket. They have a deferral program in Fort Wayne, so it's not on my record, but
Oh, that's nice.
yeah,
So it was a verbal, or no, wait, it was a ticket.
it's a ticket. But in Fort Wayne, if you get pulled over, you can just pay like $172 and it doesn't go on your record.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Everybody should do
Insurance and
that.
everything like doesn't show
No,
for insurance.
nothing. You have
Nice.
like
That's the way to go.
60 days or something to pay it.
Wow.
On top of your ticket,
No,
like you just pay it and
you just pay it and it's gone.
Like it's just a larger ticket price typically, but like it
Yeah.
includes it all.
So
Dude, that's
it's not on
awesome.
my record.
Is there some like crazy law in California or Texas or something where it's like,
I think it's Arizona.
is it Arizona, like pretty much a one-time ban almost?
I think if you get caught going over 100 now, it's like you almost lose your license.
Hey
Yeah,
Bert, can you
can't-
give that a
yeah.
goog?
Like
Well-
Arizona speeding law or something like that.
Over 100 or
Yeah.
something.
But they also are doing like a speed limit where it's like during the day and certain hours you can go as fast as you want
Oh, nice.
within reason.
This is Arizona.
Yeah.
I know in Texas it's like 85 on their interstates,
Yeah.
and in Montana they have just like state roads where it's 85.
just
But
just
it's like
go.
there's
I could see like the flat states like you got like Kansas or Iowa, like you should be able to fly through those because there's nobody on the roads,
Yeah.
dude.
like the only person you're gonna hurt is yourself or a wild horse or something.
Telephone pole.
Yes. Wait. Yes. Going over 100 miles an hour in Arizona can lead to losing your license as it is considered criminal speeding. Over 85 miles per hour or 20 over the speed limit. It is a class 3 misdemeanor, resulting in 3 points, up to 30 days in jail, and potential license suspension if you.
Wait,
Accumulate 8 to
bro,
13
is that what Jacob got?
It was something along those lines, but he's from Indiana.
Right,
so-
but it was in Arizona.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Jacob.
Man,
If you get a ticket and it's deferred, can't you like not get pulled over for 6 months or something like that?
yeah. So the thing, yeah, it's like it's not won't show up on your record, but you can't get pulled over for 6 months, I think. So,
What happens if you do get pulled over with?
Well, then you just have to pay both tickets, and then you have 2 tickets on your record. But so I was driving really carefully for about 6 months. Just speed limit. I was like the annoying guy in the far right lane going to speed limit on 69.
As long as you're in the far right lane, you're not.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
annoying.
The most
left lane.
irritating thing, is whenever somebody's going slow in the far left lane. Dude,
Oh,
dude.
it
come-
annoys me.
I had a guy. I was coming home from college today, and I'm in like those lines of traffic. Some bozo whips around me right as the lane ends. Proceeds to do like 5 under for my whole strip, and it's just ongoing traffic. Like you can't pass or anything. It's just like, what are you
That's the
doing,
worst.
man? What are you doing?
Yeah, that's just not cool. Disrespectful.
Disrespectful.
Yep.
Yeah. Or when a big truck will pass another truck, like
They're just-
semi.
Yeah.
Oh,
engine.
that's
And
they'll-
it takes forever.
you wait there for like 10 minutes for somebody to pass another semi.
Yeah, you're like, was that really worth it?
Yeah.
No, I would argue no.
especially if you're flying up behind him doing 80.
It's like
Mhm.
a pimple pop when they go around. Like a whole flood of cars just take off.
Yeah.
Pimple pop. That's hilarious. Well, should we dive into our subject?
Let's.
Sure.
All right.
Go for it.
So I mean, we were talking about history last time. We were more focusing on World War II. So I was thinking, this episode we could talk more about like the Cold War and the years following World War II. So I don't know. You could start where you want. I guess what I had in mind was like I don't know. I've been thinking about recently like why whenever we talk about World War II, does the discussion always like automatically go to Germany whenever there was so much more going on in the world? Like Japan had there was a huge battle in the Pacific front, but like nobody Japan's talked about way less than Germany.
Yeah, a lot of that is just like Germany, Europe. There's a lot of countries in Europe. They were all focused on Germany and Italy and like the fascist regimes there. Whereas in the Pacific, the only things that the European nations had there were just colonies. So they didn't really care as much as like the United States, Canada, Australia. All of us sort of fought against the Japanese together, and Russia too, to a certain extent. China was just sort of like fighting for its life,
right?
Just because of.
Well, before World War II, wasn't there Chinese and Japanese like conflict or wars?
Yeah, the Sino-Japanese wars.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
They never really liked each other.
Okay.
It's weird because all 8 different Asian groups, like Koreans, Chinese, Japanese, they all hate each other. Like throughout history, for some reason, they've never liked each other. And Japan is in a unique situation because it's just an island,
right?
And they don't have very many natural resources. Like they don't have great steel there. They don't have oil or a lot of oil,
sure,
and other natural resources that China and Korea would have
in abundance.
Right.
And during World War I, when Germany, like everyone was going against Germany, that time, Japan saw an opportunity to take German colonies in like the Philippine area, Indonesia, pretty much just
because
wherever.
Germany was busy.
Yeah, Germany was the enemy, so it's like no one was going to stop them from doing that. And so they got those natural resources. And after World War I, everyone was like, Japan, you can't keep those. You got to let them go. Whereas none of them were doing that. They were all keeping whatever they took.
Oh, the European
countries. The European countries.
Ah.
And then World War II, there was sort of Japan started out sort of separate from, like their wars were separate from Germany. There was like a thing set up by the Japanese with a train, an explosion that they blamed on people in Manchuria. So it gave them
Manchuria is in China, right?
Like China, Korean Peninsula.
Okay.
So it gave them an excuse that they set up to attack them and take over that land, which they did. And then they just continued doing that into China. And then they're like, once they got these resources, they just want more and more.
Right.
And the Japanese victories were very quick. So they swept through Southeast Asia very quickly. And they saw the United States as like the biggest obstacle to them being able to keep all of that. And we kept our Navy in Pearl Harbor. Like we had 4.
Was that because of our Navy?
It was because of our Navy that they were scared.
Okay.
And so they wanted to take out our Navy, and that's why they attacked Pearl Harbor December 7th, 1941.
Yeah.
But
missed the carriers, missed the oil reserves.
Yeah, because the carriers, they were out on like a training thing, all of them. And then they didn't hit any of our oil reserves or repair docks. So we got our Navy back up and running pretty quickly after that. And it's sort of because that they won all those basically by speed over power. Like they just took over stuff quickly, but didn't get a super tight hold on it.
Sure.
That the United States was able to go from island to island. Yes, it was hard fought, but we were able to just sweep our way back towards the mainland.
Because they didn't leave very good like structure, like good.
Yeah, good structures,
strongholds.
or and they didn't really colonize the area. They just had military there. It's just like
Okay. There weren't
Yeah.
civilians we had.
there
to worry
weren't
about.
civilians, so it's just we can not that many militaries cared about civilian casualties back then.
Not like today.
Wasn't there
Not like
like
today.
they would spread stories of like Americans cutting guts open and stuff like that, and then when Americans would land, like the civilians would like jump off cliffs because they were so scared. Was there instances of that?
I'm not sure. I haven't read on that,
Okay,
but it could be like
Like-
stories like that were told and
right.
about everybody, and it's not like America was.
No, like it was like they did like a fear, like they would say, hey, when the Americans come, they're gonna kill you and all your kids, and so you better not let us fall, otherwise Americans are gonna rip you apart. And so when the civilians didn't know any better, so then I don't know, you could fact check
Yeah.
this, but it's like I don't know what the word for that
Like
is. Just-
propaganda,
Propaganda.
Yeah, but it's like almost more than like fear something.
fear
Fear mongering.
Manipulation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and America was good at that too.
Oh,
Like,
I'm not saying
in
our hands
the-
are clean.
In the Cold War, the CIA, like there's something with the Philippines, and the CIA spread a rumor that there were vampires in the woods
No
in the
way.
Philippines, and they took a guy, killed him, and then poked 2 holes in his neck and drained
Oh,
all
to
the
make it
blood
look
out
like
of
he
him.
got bit by a vampire.
Oh.
That's crazy.
And they just left him there. And people found
What?
him, and it started a myth.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I wonder if any Filipinos still believe that.
I'm not sure.
This
That's
island's haunted. There are
yeah,
vampires
But-
in the forest.
yeah, whatever to scare people into doing what you want.
Yeah.
There's some crazy battles in the Pacific. I mean, that was pretty revolutionary for how we fight navies today. I mean, was it Battle of Coral Sea was the first naval conflict where the ships didn't see each other? Or
Maybe, yeah. And then, like the most famous naval battle is the Battle of Midway,
right.
where we sunk like 4 of the Japanese carriers, I think, something like that. Pretty much crippled their navy power
Mhm.
in just one fatal swoop. And then that's when our sort of island hopping campaign really took off because
Okay.
they couldn't stop us going from island to island.
That's what kind of turned the tide in that war.
Yeah. We had mostly air superiority away from the islands because we had our carriers.
Right. Once we had the
Yeah.
islands, we were able to park planes and things there. Yeah.
Yeah, so we just take over an island, put a military base there, go to the next island, military base, until we eventually got close enough to the Japanese mainland where we could firebomb
Right.
Japanese cities.
Which goes into like the bat bombs, like you were talking last
Yeah.
episode.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
hmm Yeah, and then eventually into dropping the atomic bombs.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So I guess with the atomic bombs, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Were they justified?
It depends. There are 2 schools of thought. One is that, yes, they were justified because they would save so many lives, so many more lives in the long run.
Yep. That's what we were all taught in
Yeah.
history class.
So, because the idea was that we'd have to fight the same way all the way through the Japanese mainland, which could have been true. And so, President Truman decided to drop the first bomb, and then the second, and we did have a third, but that was decommissioned after the war.
It was taken apart.
Yeah, and the core, like the nuclear core,
Yeah.
was used for experiments and stuff. That was a whole different story behind it. It's
Okay.
kind of interesting. But so there's that school of thought, but there's also some people would argue that that the Japanese would have eventually just given up once U.S. soldiers reached the mainland, and that there's just the idea that since we're fighting them from island to island, that they were slowing us down. But if we really wanted to, we could have just went around and went to the mainland. Anyway, skipped all the islands, but that was the strategy that we wanted to use was we wanted military bases closer.
Yeah.
So we had to capture some islands, and it just made sense to go from one to the next, to the next, to the next.
Yeah.
But
So what school of thought is generally taught, or is it not pushed one way or the other when you're in school?
in college, there's not one that's pushed more than the other. It's more of like a
What do you
what
think?
what would you have done? Like
Right. Right.
Mhm.
It's
like
it's an
Truman
ethical
had a
question.
Truman had a hard choice. Like and he made the choice he made. There's nothing we can do to change it.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll never know what would happen if he never made that choice.
Right.
So it's just
Yeah.
you could have the other way could have saved more lives in the long run, or this way was the best way.
Mm-hmm. Is it just about saving lives on both sides, or could like Japan like post World War II? Like, I mean, I'm thinking like the Emperor and like a lot of higher ups got off scot free just
Mhm.
because we wanted to reach a treaty with them. Does that play a factor?
No. The reason like Hirohito, I think
I don't know how
that's
to say
his
his
name.
name.
I think it's
Hirohito. The reason he got off was there's so much after the war. There's so much like civil unrest, and they're pretty much answers communism. They had a fear that sort of like how the Nazi Party gained control of Germany.
Mhm.
It was sort of the fear that communists would take control of Japan.
there'd be a
after.
Japanese Hitler.
Well, because fascism was sort of like gone, defeated, done,
Right.
and communism was a new thing.
Right.
So it's like there's a fear that communism would take over Japan if we took a trusted figure like Hirohito.
If
out
you
of
left
power.
it up to like the people, essentially.
Well, yeah, that and a lot of the
Or I guess
general-
it's not
yeah.
a democracy, but yeah.
No, but a lot of the generals were tried for war crimes and
Okay.
convicted. But the emperor wasn't, just because they didn't want that civil unrest to keep on growing.
Yeah. I think he ruled to like
The
late
19
80s.
He ruled until like the 1970s.
Wow.
Then his son took over.
Okay.
But he was just a figurehead. America was in control the entire time.
Right. It is crazy. Like even today, like Japan loves America. Like I think
Or
one
the
of
thought of America.
Yeah.
or
Well,
I don't know. Like we
that is masterful propaganda
right. That's
On-
what I'm saying.
on
It
like
had to have
MacArthur's part.
Hmm.
Just sort of made America seem like the savior from an evil regime.
been. Sure.
But yeah.
So back to the schools of thought with the atomic bomb. What way would you lean?
It's hard to say. I think Truman probably made the right decision strategically.
Sure.
Morally, that's in question, but I'd say strategically it makes sense. And the American people wanted to be done too. That's a
Right.
big thing. Like mothers wanted their husbands and sons home.
Because this was how long after the Germany or like that end of World War II ended?
Trying to think.
Was it a year?
It's about a year, so maybe a little less than, but people wanted the war, just wanted it to be done and over with.
I could definitely understand that.
So that was a big part of it, because he could either drag this war out for another year and a half
Mhm.
and maybe lose more people. Maybe that would have saved, like, less people would have died then, but it's like people don't want another year and a half of war. They
No.
just want it to be done and over with.
Yeah. Probably saved more American lives that way.
It saved
too.
more American lives, definitely. But there's an argument about Japanese lives, but
Yeah.
people in 1940s America didn't really care about that. So,
Yeah.
That train of thought came a little bit later.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you like, I mean, I know this a little. I guess is Vietnam in the Cold War?
Oh yeah.
It's a proxy war, yeah. It's in the Cold War. Like Korea, Vietnam, some places in South America, Africa.
Yeah, is Korea the Forgotten War? Korea is considered the Forgotten War. Which one has that nickname? Look
Definitely
up.
not
Look up
Vietnam.
what the
No.
Forgotten War
I
is.
feel like there was a Korean War and a Vietnam War that were fairly well known.
Definitely not Vietnam.
Forgotten War. I thought it was because they called it the Korean conflict, I think, and so
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
didn't
the
want to.
Korean War.
Yeah,
Because it was a UN force.
Right.
Not-
and nobody
wasn't
really
America.
won, right?
No, it's still nobody. Technically, war was never declared, and
yeah. This
War
was the
was
Korean
never-
conflict, and then
yeah,
later I think it
and
got
war
switched
was
back to
like there's no treaty signed.
Because what it
Oh.
was like the 83rd parallel or what was that?
53rd,
50th, I think.
53rd parallel. or
53rd
something.
parallel, yeah. But yeah, one of the parallels. But that was a crazy call by MacArthur.
He wanted to nuke North Korea so bad. in
Really?
China. He wanted
That's
China
why gone.
that's why he got fired.
He wanted China gone.
Yeah.
We pushed into China, didn't we?
We were close, and China got scared.
Instead of
Rightly so.
It was just what a time. Because I look up in the map. Because in the beginning because North Korea first came into South, right? And
North Korea almost took over the entire peninsula.
down to
and
like the
then
last corner.
The UN sent in a force, and we pushed them all the way back almost to China. And China was getting kind of scared, and so they sent troops and supplies.
Oh, so they supplied the North Koreans.
Yeah, and then pushed us back, and we pushed them back, and ended up at the
53rd
53rd parallel, or
Look up 53rd parallel.
it might have
to
been
see if that is.
83rd.
This episode is sponsored by Blastrite. Farmers, know your equipment isn't just equipment, it's your livelihood. When rust, old paint, and wear starts taking over your tractors, trailers, grain trucks, or implements, Blastrite brings them back to life with professional sandblasting. We strip everything down to clean bare metal so your new paint and coatings actually last. Proper surface prep means less rust, longer life, and more seasons out of the equipment you depend on. Don't replace it before you have to, restore it. Contact Blastrite today to keep your operation looking sharp and running strong. You can call them at 260-273-6851 or email them at blastriteinfo@gmail.com.
Or just do Korea or something.
Have you
Korea
heard-
parallel.
Have you heard the story of like how there was a big tree that like obstructed the view of
Yeah.
the American military, and so they like
38.
sent in
38th parallel.
a 38.
Yeah.
Anyways, didn't they like send in a bunch of air support and then send a bunch of guys out with axes and like cut the tree down right in front of the North Koreans or something like
Yeah,
that?
no, that story is interesting, because it was, what was the operation? They had named it some sort of operation, but so yeah, the tree it's in like a neutral zone, or not demilitarized zone, but like you're not supposed to have weapons in this zone, and so there's a tree blocking one lookout post from another, and America and South Korea didn't like that because theoretically North Korea could take over the one post and the other post wouldn't be able to see it.
Okay, yeah.
So they sent in a group to cut down the tree, but the North Korean soldiers came and like, you can't cut down this tree. It was planted by our supreme leader, which it wasn't. You know, they like to make up stories about what their supreme leaders do.
Right.
Yeah.
But so like America doesn't care. We're going to cut down this tree anyway. But the North Koreans bring out like sticks and bats, and they end up killing two American soldiers,
With sticks and bats.
beating
my
them to
goodness.
death
Ooh.
because we didn't have weapons there. And so at that point, all bets are off.
Yeah.
And the president at the time was Gerald Ford. So
I feel like he's a forgotten president.
he's the only president that was not elected as either a vice president or a presidential candidate.
right.
So because
Because
Nixon,
he was after. Yeah.
Nixon and his vice president, I forget his name, but his vice president resigned because of fraud allegations. So he was committing fraud somehow. So he resigned, and so Nixon gets to choose who his vice president is. So he chooses Gerald Ford. He was like a boxing coach at Harvard or something. And then Watergate.
Yeah.
So Nixon resigns office, and so now Gerald Ford is his president, even though he didn't really have plans to be.
Everybody's like, oops.
Wow.
And he knows he's not going to get reelected.
Yeah. So might as well do.
So he sort of went all out and just, they sent in an armored truck with a bunch of soldiers with bats, and South Korean soldiers had a bunch of guns and allegedly had like mines on their chest.
Wait, this was in the
case.
Korean War?
This was after.
Okay, I was going to say, I thought he was 70s.
So, and then there were like 3 or 4 attack helicopters going to just ride around where the tree is. There were allegedly B-2 Stratoforce, like 12 of them, just going up and down the demilitarized line that may or may not have had atomic weapons on them.
Oh, my word.
All for this one tree.
All for this one tree. And they cut down the tree and they left the stump and put a plaque on it. And that stump is there to this day.
Oh, Bert, look up a picture of that stump. What does the plaque say? Oh, this is funny.
It's like a memorial to the 2 soldiers that died.
That's crazy.
That's insane. Wow.
There's a pretty interesting book on the Korean War. It's like, I think I listened to it, so it was like 40 or 53 hours long, but it's like probably the most complete story you could get from. I literally think it's just called Vietnam War, but it like started like back in like when like the French or whoever the colonizers were in Vietnam, and it like worked its way all the way up, and then it went through the war and all the politics. And yeah, quite a propaganda war or something else. They find the plaque.
Stone from the... No, it's not in the Korean War, but it's in Korea.
Just enter, see what happens.
There you go.
There you
Yeah, I think that's a tree.
It's an ugly tree.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what it looks like now. That's what we left. Just
Oh, that one Facebook image. I don't... It's hard to tell what pictures are real these days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's
I
what
think
I
that's
saw
like
in
a
the clip.
drawing. Yeah.
Something else.
Huh.
All for a tree.
All for a tree. That's crazy.
B-52 bombers and jets to cut down one tree.
Yep.
Something else.
Wait, so do we know for a fact that there were atomic weapons aboard those helicopters? Or not
Bombers.
helicopters,
Bombers.
but
B-52 is not confirmed, but
okay.
it's highly implied. I mean,
Okay.
there was multiple different plans of how they were thinking they were going to convince North Korea to back off on having them chop that tree down. I think there's one plan to just drop a nuke in the ocean next to North Korea, just to prove that we could nuke them if we wanted to. But that didn't happen, obviously.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Going back to kind of like where we left off, like what were we talking about, the atomic bombs, maybe? I don't know. I think that they did do the right thing by dropping the atomic bomb, because I don't think that the Japan would have surrendered had we not. Because have you heard the story? Right, I think there was like 12,000 Japanese that kept fighting after
they were
surrendered.
Yeah, they didn't know the war ended.
Right. Well, I think the final Japanese soldier surrendered in like 72.
Yeah, because he was just hiding out.
Right.
They had to like fly in his commanding officer, and like he thought it was propaganda and stuff. Because I think he was like killing people still.
Right. He was like
Maybe.
doing guerrilla
Yeah.
warfare.
Yeah, and so they had to like fly in his commanding officer, and he had to like personally tell him it was over.
Because yeah, they would be told, or they would find newspapers that say like the war's over, and they're like, no, the Japan I know would never have surrendered.
Mm-hmm.
This is American propaganda.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, but for that reason, I don't think that they would have surrendered had we not done something major like that.
Yeah. A big show of force.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we were just actually talking about this in our business class, the atomic bomb. It's like the utilitarian mindset versus like the moral mindset, where the utilitarians utilitarian I think pushes the
It's the greatest good for the greatest number of people.
Yeah. The ends justify the means is like kind of the biggest phrase of that, and then the moral is like, well, you can't. I guess the opposite.
Mhm.
Which even then, you don't even know. I mean, it could be argued that even satisfied a moral, because I mean, the chances that those cities would have been firebombed anyway, which was killing people almost more horrifically.
It would have probably killed way more people.
Yeah, I mean, the moral question wasn't necessarily the bombs; it was kind of a larger question of civilian bombing, which was in Europe too. I mean,
We dropped so many
Oh, my
bombs in
goodness.
Berlin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what
Lots
a,
of bombs.
What a war!
And like they weren't guided bombs like we have today, so they just took
Yeah,
as
just-
many bombs as they could fit in a plane and just
Yeah, you
drop them
straight
over
up drop them.
general area.
Yep.
I don't even think all of them had the Norden bomb sight. I think like a lead plane, one or two lead planes would have it. And you see their formations are huge. And so when the first guy drops, it means all right, everybody else drop. So like only one dude actually had an aiming instrument, and it's just when it goes, it goes.
Wow. Well, should we get into more of the Cold War,
Sure.
or like move forward a little bit?
Sounds good.
Yeah, where exactly in the Cold War do you want to go?
I don't know.
There's a lot.
Let's continue chronologically. So I don't know.
So-
50s.
Well,
I guess we were just talking about
like
the Korean
there's
War.
the Korean War, which was next. So that was a UN force. So technically, it wasn't U.S. versus Korea. We just
Okay.
sent a lot of people there.
I think actually I know my great grandpa fought in that war.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and that one is never really like ended. So that's why it's like we said earlier, the Forgotten War.
Yeah.
It's because it wasn't technically a war. Sort of like how Afghanistan wasn't technically a war.
Not technically. Yeah.
Wait, fun fact, or I think it's fun. Did you know, I think Neil Armstrong flew as an Air Force pilot in the Korean War, and he like got one of his wings cut off by like a telephone wire or something, and like limped his plane back to across the border and like bailed out or something crazy. Like he has like a crazy war story.
Wow.
I think he was doing like a strafing run and like clipped like or cut like half his wing off. Let's see if they have the full story on it. Yeah, I don't. You can find it somewhere else.
Mhm.
I'm fairly certain of it, but maybe not.
He ejected safely after losing 6 feet of a wing to a cable line.
What a man.
Wow,
Yeah.
he flew 78 combat missions.
Yeah, I mean, he was like legit a pilot. I think. I mean,
Most of those guys most of
fighter
those
pilots,
astronauts
yeah,
are.
test
They
pilots.
go to be on test pilots or stuff. And so why not just strap him to a rocket and see if he makes it to the moon?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
that's
has
crazy.
some experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think.
How different can it be?
He's clearly not afraid of dying. So
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
there's another book. It's like Shoot for the Moon or something like that.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, that was. That apparently astronauts were quite the partiers. Like they're quite the celebrities and a little
Mhm.
bit of some bad boys. They get like Corvettes or something and like race down the highway and like there's like some hotels or something. But
yeah, makes sense.
Bert's just cheesing over there.
I mean, most famous people in history have a
right. But it was
Yeah.
like the like you were kind of like a stereotype. If you're an astronaut, you're just kind of a party kid.
mm-hmm,
That's
sort of,
interesting.
or even like a fighter pilot. Like you watch Top Gun, and
Yeah.
it's just like,
Yeah, just
They,
living that
they think
lifestyle.
that they're like, yeah,
yeah, they think they're the cool kids.
yeah,
And
jocks. Yeah. So what were kind of like during a similar time as like the Korean War? What was like the relationship like with the United States and the USSR?
not great. Well, you see, the USSR just set up their like iron block.
Okay.
So, like after World War II, like we split Germany in half, and so it's just like
And then we split Berlin in half. Right?
we split Berlin in half, which was like an interesting social experiment to see the difference between capitalism and communism. But so
Quite severe.
that was split in half, and the idea was, like the U.S., we helped whatever countries that we helped like gain independence from Germany. So like France, Belgium, stuff like that. Italy, help them rebuild, and then like let them continue what they were like as a nation.
So you'd help them rebuild and then just
Yeah.
kind of just
Or
all right,
yeah,
all
give
yours.
them resources
Sure.
to form a government, get things in order. Whereas the USSR was supposed to do the same thing, but what they did is they just set up puppet governments in all the territories that they got. So like they're half of Germany, Poland.
But they didn't give them resources. Is that the difference? Or what
Well,
are you saying?
They were giving the whatever communist equivalent of resources is. But
Ah,
these puppet governments, they're their own countries, but it's just like a communist buffer from the USSR and the rest of Europe.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and those other governments really didn't have too much say or control. It was pretty much at that time just Stalin.
Yeah.
And so, like, the idea of communism is that they wanted to spread everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that was sort of the fear of the West. So like America, England, France was
Well, that's the thing. It was spreading, right?
it was spreading.
The Iron
Well,
Curtain.
through the Iron Curtain.
Mhm.
So, and then into China through Mao. And-
He was a terrible person.
Oh, most communist leaders were terrible people.
Yeah, Mao
Like,
was.
Mao killed a lot
Insane.
of people.
Did
Well,
he kill more than Stalin?
I think so.
I think he
killed
killed
like
more than Hitler and Stalin combined.
90 million, maybe. I don't know.
It's insane.
That's ridiculous.
So, spread into China, from China to North Korea. North Korea tried to take over South Korea. UN didn't
Oh.
let that happen, and then the same thing sort of happened in Vietnam.
Mm.
The thing with Vietnam was that the northern half was going to be communist. Like there's sort of an unwritten agreement that the northern half would be communist under Ho Chi Minh, and then the southern half would remain like free from communism.
So
So
really similar to
capitalist.
Korea.
So sort of similar to Korea, but then the reason we got involved was because of it's called the domino theory. So like one domino falls, Vietnam, then like Laos, Cambodia
Sure.
would also fall, and we didn't want that, obviously.
Mhm.
So we sent people there to protect South Vietnam. We were not allowed to. Our soldiers weren't allowed to go into North Vietnam to attack.
Okay, we were
So
holding
we
a
were
line.
we were just defending, and that's part of the reason why we needed so many people there, because we're defending. We're not attacking the enemy.
Yeah.
So they're all safe up in North Korea. I mean North Vietnam, but we're down here. We're getting attacked every day. The Viet Cong were going through Laos and Cambodia to get to South Vietnam.
The Ho Chi Minh Trail.
Yeah.
You should look up the stats of how many pounds of bombs dropped per one kill.
There's a lot.
It's insane. I mean, take a guess. Everyone take a guess. How many pounds of bombs are dropped per?
How many pounds of bombs per one kill in the Vietnam War?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
17? I don't know.
Look
17 pounds.
17 for
I was gonna
one
say, like,
person?
No,
At
I'm
least
thinking
50.
like thousands.
Yeah.
What? Wait, what?
W-
No.
No way, it's 7.5 million.
No, that's got to be
Drop-
tons.
Oh, I see.
We dropped 7.5 million.
Total.
Tons.
No, 7
Tons.
Tons, yeah.
7.5 million tons.
To kill 300,000.
Mm-hmm.
1,000 pounds of bombs.
But I mean, so that's 15,000 pounds, right? So 15,000 divided by. Or
What?
no, no. A
Go
ton,
down
a
to
ton is
that first
200,000.
link. Go
2,000.
down to that link here. Oh, okay. This is going to be a little longer. You get the point. You could. Oh, actually, that
Yeah.
might have had it there. Anyhow, it was an insane, like,
Lots
just
of
carpet
bombs.
bombing.
Wow.
Yeah. We bombed Laos, parts of Laos and Cambodia because of the trail, and they weren't doing anything to stop it. Then Cambodia sort of had its own problems with forget what Pol Pot and his sort of communist regime, Khmer Rouge,
Okay, I've not
what
heard
they
of that.
call themselves. He also killed a lot of people.
Okay, I've never heard of them.
So, I don't remember how many people died in that, but there were a lot of communism.
Has a violent uprising.
Yeah, because that's the whole point. Is like there's a violent uprising of the people to overthrow the bourgeoisie, the upper classes.
Yep.
So
It's the
everyone-
lower class people wanting to be equal to the upper
Yeah.
class people,
and so there's no classes,
quote unquote.
quote unquote. But so the problem with like on paper, communism sort of kind of seems like a good idea. Like, oh, everybody gets what they need to survive. They don't have to struggle. Everything's sort of given to you by the government. You get what you need and nothing more, sort of thing. But then it doesn't take into account the greed of
Human nature.
human nature, the greed of the people who get the power to distribute whatever. And like in communist nations, there's no private property. So
How do you acquire a house? Like, do you just put in a request for like a domicile or something?
Yeah, that they would just give you a job. Different countries did it differently. So, like Russia and China, their goal was to industrialize. So Stalin had like his 5-year plans. So every 5 years, we'd have to be at this step. So they drastically changed from a agricultural based economy to an industrial based one. And that, like, logically led to food shortages and people being really unhappy with the party and like with their work because they couldn't just there's no satisfaction in it. You're working for free and then the government gives you whatever.
Especially if you don't have enough food to feed your family.
Yeah.
Wait, hey, Bert, I'll read this. So it looks like in like the Soviet Union, all urban land was state owned, and so like private housing markets were like non-existent. So there was a lot of corporate housing. People with a lot of money could buy an apartment in a cooperative building, but like the corporation owned the building, or the state owned the building.
Yeah, the party. And then people who were against the party, got to get rid of them.
Gestapo.
Yep.
No, not the Gestapo. The
Get
Gulag.
eliminated.
So you take them to the gulags, send them to Siberia where no one will hear from them. And that's where a lot of people died from that. And a lot of people died from famine and starvation. And similar thing in China, because Mao really wanted to industrialize China. But their economy was also based on agriculture.
I mean, but was he successful at all? Because like, I mean, China is incredibly industrial right now.
he was successful. Like both Stalin and Mao were successful in switching it over, but like 60 million people had to die to make it happen.
Wow.
And even then, like China says they're not communist anymore, but they are. It's just hidden under like different names and titles.
What do they call it? What if they're not communists? What do they say they are?
I forget what the
Nationalists or something? Yeah, I guess that's that.
no, because communism, they
Is-
don't like nationalism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't want national pride.
How is that all different from like Marxist or whatever it is?
So Marxism and communism are the same.
That's the exact same thing.
So
Yeah,
Karl
Karl Marx
Marx.
is the founder.
Karl
of-
Marx and it's Eric Engel wrote the Communist Manifesto.
Okay, yeah, that sounds familiar.
Is it true Karl Marx never worked a day in his life?
He probably did.
I don't think that's true, but
Look
He-
this up. There's something crazy about him.
He was probably some elite that thought that this would be perfect. Yeah, okay, he did work.
yeah,
He
was an intellectual and a
I
journalist.
gotcha.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Author, researcher.
I think he wrote the Communist Manifesto around the time of the Civil War
Oh, okay.
or shortly after.
So what's the difference between communism and socialism?
Nothing.
Okay.
Communism is just a form of socialism,
Okay. So there's
just
synonyms.
like fascism is its own brand of socialism.
Oh, okay.
The difference is fascism is national socialism. So, like, the way the Nazi Party did it, they were National Socialist. But
Right.
they hated the communist because communism's, they don't like borders. They don't like national titles. It's
So
just one
fascism
people.
and communism, they're like somewhat related because they're both under the umbrella of socialism, but they're different and they hate each other.
Yeah. Well, Hitler really hated communists.
Yeah, I knew that. I know
And-
that.
Yeah. But
That's why he didn't like a lot of Christians, right? Because he viewed them as communist.
yeah, for the most, have you ever watched the movie Bonhoeffer?
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of like that. It's like he slowly changed the Christian faith to suit his needs. Like he came out with a new Bible. He came out with children's books about how it was the devil that like chose the Jews and not God.
That's
stuff
crazy.
like that.
Dude, Dietrich Bonhoeffer was the GOAT, bro.
Yeah, he
He was a stud.
he was something.
Hmm.
But failed to kill Hitler though. Lots of
Yeah.
people failed to kill
he
Hitler.
was close.
Is he the one with the case bomb?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Didn't work.
Killed some other people in the table, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. But Hitler
Yeah.
left. There was like probably dozens of attempts to kill Hitler, to assassinate him, and it never worked. But I don't think it would have really changed anything because, like Hermann Goring, who was Hitler's
Next
right-hand
man up.
man,
Yeah, would have just taken over.
would have just taken over. I mean, they believe the same thing.
Yeah. Did the Nazis? I saw something about like Nazi escape routes or something like that. Did they? Was there certain people like trying to get out all the time of the Nazi regime?
It's mainly once they saw they were losing the war.
Oh, okay.
So, like, you're Germany, you're right here. Allies are coming from this side. Russians are coming from this side. Russians will kill you. They'll see your uniform and they'll shoot you.
Yeah.
Or you could just run over to the Allies, which a lot of them did. And then some were tried for war crimes, or others were just arrested. And then others found their way into South America, like Argentina.
Okay. Yeah. Because there's still colonies in Argentina.
They're still calling, like, there's German, like, people who speak German in Argentina. It's
Or
mainly-
look up Colina Digidad, or Digidad. It's in Chile.
Mhm.
That place is insane. It was yeah, it's in Chile, but it's like 17,000 acres of land. It's like a colony. And obviously this is South America, so everybody there is Latino. But in this colony, everybody is white with blonde hair, blue eyes.
Mhm.
It's like 17,000 acres. Very strong like German culture established in I think it was like the early 60s or late 50s. But yeah, basically it's a Nazi colony. In the I think 70s and 80s there were a whole bunch of like human rights violations there.
Mhm.
There's like weird sexual things with children and just horrible things.
Yeah.
But it's like still up and going, thriving actually today. It's horrible.
Yeah, some of the worst Nazis made it out into Argentina, like Joseph Mengele,
Yeah.
the doctor at Auschwitz, who did like terrible experiments on twins and women and children.
I think I've heard of some of that.
It's
Yeah.
like,
just
he
crazy
would-
that they continue the experimentation and like
Yeah, he did.
kind of just let them
He
go.
did continue some experimentation in South America, and he just never got caught. Died of a heart attack
On a beach, right?
on a beach, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, so awful human being, but like never saw any consequences for anything he did.
Lived a great life still on the beach afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
That just fuels me with anger, dude. Yeah, that's crazy. But I think they used like whenever they saw that they were losing the war, I believe that many of the Germans or like the higher ups, they started making like plans to like escape or to live somewhere else, and so they would take like some of the Nazi gold or like I mean we know a lot came from like Jewish gold teeth and like wedding rings and things all melted down. They would take that gold and they would buy land in South America, or they would start to send. They would collect blackmail on like leaders in South America, and so that whenever some of them moved down to South America, they were able to. They had all this blackmail. They had all this gold, and that gave them a lot of power. And so like the authorities or like the politicians there, like they had things on everybody more so than the countries did, and so they kind of just were forced to let them be and kind of let them do whatever they want.
Yeah, they and like other people who didn't have the means to escape, like mainly scientists, just went over to the Allies, like Operation Paperclip.
NASA,
Yeah.
baby.
They
NASA.
all
NASA.
went to our government.
It's like, oh, we'll take you, we'll take you, we'll take you, we'll take you. You'll stay out of jail. You just have to help us
Rockets.
beat Russia.
Bring all of your information that we weren't allowed to collect data on because it's too
Horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with Japan too.
Right.
They did so many experiments. It's like, we'll take that information. We'll
Yeah.
give you
in Japan, we took more information from Japan, but we took more people from Germany? Would that be accurate?
Yes and no, because there was also some people who did experiments in Japan that ended up being college professors in the U.S. It's like, we'll take you.
I got a professor who I'm pretty sure. No.
You just have to help us over Russia. And the space race was a big part of that, because Russia put a satellite
Sputnik
up there
1.
first, Sputnik 1, and they sent a man in orbit first.
I think they also crashed one into the moon first and say like you're under a communist moon or something like that.
Yeah.
People got pretty mad when Sputnik 1 went up. I think
Oh.
America thought U.S. was kind of lacking. Like
Yeah.
NASA, like in the beginning, NASA or America was definitely like failing at the race, and
Mhm.
like there's like public outrage that we're
Yeah.
losing.
And Kennedy made his public speech of that we'd be on the moon in a decade. And
Not because it is easy, but because it is hard.
yeah. And we were,
JFK was awesome, bro. Not
Kinda,
gonna
yeah.
lie.
yeah. He was a good president
Interesting person.
and person.
Okay, no, yeah, I would agree with that. I guess that's what
He had
I
a
was
bunch
saying.
of affairs, and
Yeah,
Monica Lewinsky.
he was a Hollywood product,
yeah,
Hollywood guy. He was a great president, though.
yeah, good president.
Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, that was a big
Ooh,
one.
That's like
that's-
pinnacle of Cold War.
Yeah, Fidel Castro.
Our missiles in Turkey, or where do we have ours?
We
Turkey?
had our missiles in Turkey, and it was the closest we have and will ever be, at least up to this point, like
to nuclear
to
war.
nuclear war, because there's nuclear missiles in Cuba, nuclear missiles in Turkey, because like now we could hit anywhere in the world with a nuke from continental United States. Back then you couldn't.
Right.
But you could definitely hit most of the U.S. from Cuba, and we could hit most of the USSR from Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Because
Think-
we put ours in Turkey, and they put theirs
Yeah.
in Cuba to retaliate.
yeah. And, like, there's the Bay of Pigs invasion. That was a big failure.
Yeah, that was bad.
What was that all about? Like, I mean, I've heard of that so many times.
Yeah, it was sort of it was under Kennedy, but Kennedy sort of got scared at the last minute and sort of pulled back a lot of support.
And then they
Yeah,
got
it's a
murdered
goal-
on the beaches.
Yeah, the goal was just to storm the beaches and take over Cuba. But that didn't work.
Because like they landed, we were supposed to give them air support. Was that
Yeah,
what it was?
and we didn't because
we
we
never
didn't
showed
want
up.
we
and
didn't want the U.S. to be involved.
They
or
like
seen to be involved.
hunted down the rebels and like on the coast and like executed them and stuff. Yeah, it was pretty bad, I think. But what was like? There was a lot of like submarine incidences, weren't there? Like with the Cuban Missile Crisis. Like, well, we put like we've like blockaded Cuba, didn't we? Because we knew
Mhm.
they were
Well, yeah.
coming or something like that. But
Yeah, and
like almost shoot on sight kind of deal.
mhm. But there's a phone call between
A sub dude. Was it a
Well,
sub guy?
apparently there's a sub guy on the USSR side who refused to give an order to fire off nuclear weapons
Because it was like a
because he didn't
equipment
want
malfunction or
Yeah.
something like that.
that guy.
So wait, during the
Really?
1962 Cuban Missile Crisis, Soviet submarine B-59 nearly launched a nuclear torpedo against a U.S. Navy vessel on October 27th, Black Saturday. Surrounded by U.S. ships and using practice depth charges, the exhausted crew believing they had begun nearly fired officially. Officer, I can't
Oh,
read it.
they
It's single.
thought that the war had begun,
Yeah.
and so they were going to fire.
Officer Valisy Archipov.
Archipov. Yeah.
Archipov
It's Russian, I don't
vetoed the
know.
launch, averting nuclear war. That's crazy. It literally came
Wow.
down to one man.
Mhm. Yeah, they needed like 3 people to sign off on it, and he wouldn't.
Is like in the movies where like 3 guys have like keys to like. Is that accurate?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, maybe.
That's
eh.
probably Mission Impossible.
That's probably like really low level. I don't think the people with the keys.
Yeah.
I do think there's probably like a dual
There's
authentication.
a
to
dual
launch,
switch, and like
but it's not like those two people are the ones like okay.
yeah, those nuclear bunkers, like they have people like you're basically living there as your job. You're living there for however many weeks or whatever.
Okay.
And then there will be 2 people to replace you. And it just sort of goes.
Yeah, he was the only one of the 3 who refused to authorize the launch, convincing the other captains to surface instead. So they had a damaged air conditioning. So the sub was over 122 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, that's awful. 50
Man.
degrees Celsius for anybody else out there. Not that anybody else listens to this.
Hey, Bert, can you go to Audacity? I'm curious what time we're at. Oh, okay.
55 minutes.
Yeah, we got 20 minutes left. Easy.
Yeah. But, I mean, there were a lot of nukes tested during the Cold War. Lots.
Did we just shoot them into the ocean? Or
So we had like Bikini Atoll, a bunch of testing out there. Those were like the
R.I.P.
Trinity tests. It's radioactive. Like people lived there, and we kicked them off so we could blow up nukes.
really?
Mhm.
Oh, so it's like Area 51 of the ocean.
Yeah. St. Alamo, we tested it in the desert. Tested a bunch.
That's like Oppenheimer, right?
Well, that was the first, and then after.
But that's the same location.
Yeah, same location, and even after we launched them into the atmosphere, they blew up a nuke in the atmosphere to test.
If we'd blow the chain reaction or something like that.
No,
Wasn't
it
it
was
like
like
an
to
even-
test the aurora borealis, like the northern lights, because there's an electromagnetic pulse, so it sort of you could see how that worked.
Oh, that's interesting.
So was it a spherical explosion? Like, was it just a perfect
Yeah.
circle?
I think so.
Biggest firework ever created. Wait, you know about the manhole?
That's a fun story.
No,
The
that's
manhole?
Tell the story.
what's it called? Operation Plum Bob. That's what
Sounds right.
Plum Bob.
I don't know the date.
So basically, the U.S. civilian populace wasn't a big fan of having nuclear fallout rain down on them.
Makes
So
sense.
they're like, okay, no more testing in the ocean, no more testing in the atmosphere, and no more testing on land.
Oh
But-
wait, this is the one where they did it underground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, nobody ever said anything about doing it underground. But this test in particular, they wanted to test to see if a conventional explosive would set off one of our nuclear bombs.
I think they had safety measures so it wouldn't too.
They had safety measures so it wouldn't. So they dig this hole, sort of like a loop. They put a nuke at the bottom with a conventional explosive, fill the thing with concrete, and then the first thing they put I don't think they put any cover on. They did it twice.
Yeah.
And it was late at night. They were wondering if they should do the test now or do it tomorrow. And one guy's just like, might as well. We have everything set up. Might as well just do it now. So they did it, and none of those safety measures worked at all. The nuke goes off, vaporizes all the concrete, and I think according to an eyewitness, there was like a 100-foot something tall thing of blue flames, just like a
my.
geyser blew fire out of a hole.
Wasn't there like a steel plate that was on top?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the
that's-
second time.
That's the second time.
Oh, okay. Sorry, continue.
So then they tried to do this test again, fill the hole with concrete, but this time they welded like a 2-ton big old cover on it, welded it, put a high-speed camera on the cover just to see if anything would happen. Did the test, and with that nuke going off, it vaporizes the concrete instantly.
Yep.
So there's a lot of gas, a lot of pressure, and it's all compressed because of that.
So the welded metal held.
No, it that pressure
Launched
got it, shot it, and according I think the minimum speed that they calculated, because it was only on one frame of the high speed footage, it was just there.
And then it wasn't.
This
No,
was
it
like
wasn't.
thousands of frames per second on this
Yeah.
camera.
It was it says 150,000 miles an hour.
Minimum.
Fastest man-made
Minimum.
object.
It's like fourth fastest that we know of.
But we put it's in space now. It's gone, right?
Some people believe it's like
We
in
don't know.
space, like rotating the Earth, right?
We launched it.
Oh, it would
Into
have
orbit.
It would have gotten out of orbit.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
going so fast.
Look up and see where the manhole is expected to be.
I
Because
don't
there's
think-
all the memes of like an alien ship coming towards Earth and just getting obliterated by a manhole.
but like the Star Wars, like have you seen that? The
No.
Star Wars movie where they go light speed through the ship?
Yeah, that, like
Oh
splits it
yeah.
in half.
Okay.
The canon event was that it was a manhole
Yeah.
covered.
But some people think it burned up in the atmosphere. I don't think that was the case. I think it's
If
probably.
it can withhold a nuclear bomb, I
But
think
if
it's-
it did get into space, we would have beat Russia for having the first man-made object in space.
Oh.
We just never could actually prove that we did it.
Okay, so it's either vaporized or it's in deep space.
Yeah.
That's
It's
hilarious.
likely. So the most widely accepted theory is that the steel plate disintegrated in the atmosphere due to extreme heat, which is boring, so we're not going to believe that. Deep space. If it survived the atmosphere, it likely achieved escape velocity and is now traveling through deep space, potentially farther than the Voyager probes.
Wow.
The Nevada test site. Some theories suggest it fell back to Earth in the desert, though it was never found.
That's boring.
Nah, it's
Nah.
definitely in deep
It's
space.
in space.
Yep. It's still orbiting the moon.
That's just such a like to picture like I mean the planet Earth to just see a little plume and then just know like it's just such a great. I mean it's
Yeah.
literally a gun.
It's
It's a gun, in
yeah.
essence.
That's insane.
I mean, during that, there's so many dumb ideas for nuclear technology. Like we made a nuclear cannon.
Yeah,
Just a
atomic
cannon that-
cannon.
Yeah, that shot a nuclear bomb. Like
Okay.
the thing was, it couldn't shoot it far enough that you could safely stand next to it and fire it.
It would kill you, the person who fired it.
Or you get radiation. Look up the Davy Crockett.
Yeah, and then there was another idea for
Davy
a
Crockett.
nuclear scooter.
Atomic bazooka.
So you take like a Vespa or something, and you just strap a cannon on it, and the idea was that would shoot the nuclear projectile.
What?
Check this out. This is the Davy Crockett. It's
No way.
It's,
Oh, yeah,
an
the,
atomic warhead on a bazooka. And then
Yeah.
it was just
Where
That
you're
is
still in the
so funny.
fallout range.
Wait, so I mean, with that, you would just kamikaze. You just.
well, I mean it wouldn't blow you up, but you could be in fallout.
It's
I
a very
think.
small nuclear warhead, so it's like not as big as the one we dropped on Hiroshima or
Okay.
Nagasaki, but it's still a really big explosion.
What all countries? This is kind of off topic, but what all countries have atomic bombs now?
I'm not sure. The U.S., Russia, England, France, Germany.
Is India?
We gave
India
we gave
might,
Germany
probably.
back nuclear bombs. Really?
I think so.
They probably made them their own at this point.
First
U.S. has very little involvement in Germany nowadays. Is that right? Like we're
Yeah, no, nobody.
Click on that chart.
a lot.
Wow, there's a lot of yeah.
Oh, there's quite a few.
Iran was trying to, but
R.I.P.
we nixed that.
We claimed we nixed that. Some defense thing says we didn't completely destroy it. So
yeah.
All
Who
right,
knows
so
what
Russia,
actually
United
happened.
States, France, China, United Kingdom, Pakistan, India, North Korea. What's the one that's covered up?
Israel.
Israel.
Oh yeah, Italy, Turkey. Turkey has them really. Belgium, Germany, and the Netherlands. I would never have guessed Turkey, Belgium, or the Netherlands.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
I wonder what year that graph was.
I feel like there's a few more
Because
now.
there was multiple treaties to limit how many nukes certain countries could have.
Yeah, that's always kind of.
All the de-escalation treaties.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's getting too hot.
Yeah,
cool it off.
If you stop making nukes, we'll stop making nukes. Wink,
Wink.
wink.
Yeah, we just won't tell you about the underground facility we have.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Dude, one of my favorite Cold War, or not one of my favorite, but one of the areas that I find the most fascinating is the MK Ultra program.
oh geez, yeah.
Because like that's 100% factual. It happened, but it seems like something a conspiracy theory nut would make up.
Yeah. That's
I don't know about it. MK as in Martin. Wait, what's
No,
MK?
no. So this
No.
was probably early 50s. The CIA director was Alan. What's his face?
Like lobotomy?
No. So they would experiment the mind control. This is factual. They would experiment with like drugs, like psychedelic drugs and LSD.
LSD.
A lot of times on college campuses, they would experiment to, I mean, you've seen Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding you. That's what they were trying to do. They
Yeah,
were
they-
trying to create the perfect assassin who you could say like a code word, and all of a sudden he turns into a robot, performs a deed that you tell him to do, and then you say a code word, and his mind is wiped, and he has no memory of it. The perfect
Mhm.
assassin.
Shima knees.
And that this is 100% factual. We were actually doing this, and the
Yeah.
program ran for 25 years.
How
Yeah.
close do we get?
It's a CIA program.
Not very close at all.
Okay, just
It
got a
was
bunch of
a-
people addicted to LSD.
Do you know the Unabomber?
Yeah.
He was one of the people they experimented on.
No way.
Yes.
Shima knees. That's a backfire.
So yeah, like I mean, what do you expect when you pump people full of LSD?
Yeah,
Because
but
he wrote some crazy things.
a lot of times it was on, like I said, college campuses. Like they would, because I mean, obviously they wouldn't do it if you don't volunteer, but you would volunteer not knowing what you're volunteering for,
Mm-hmm.
and then they would, it was just crazy stuff. They would experiment with all these different things. I think they did a lot of stuff with music and just like weird.
Seeing how things like
Affected
affect
you?
your mind
Yeah, it's all mental,
and your way of thinking.
ridiculous. Yeah, this was a CIA program.
They did some weird things with remote viewing and stuff like that too. It was,
Yeah, no, it got really weird.
Yeah, like Cold War. If you look at Cold War science, half of it's just like total BS.
They're
But
trying
like to them,
create
it made
this-
sense.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
what if it works?
Don't knock it till you try it.
There, like, there was a dolphin. We tried to make a spy or something. A cat. We like implanted cameras in cats, just to try to spy on people. And
Yeah, now we're pumping money into Sesame Street programs in I don't know, the Middle East.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like this program ran for 25 years. We pumped millions and millions of dollars into it, and so I don't know. Something tells me that they had to have achieved something or like some
Birds.
level of success. I don't know.
The
Mhm.
birds are not real. Is that a fish?
what is that?
That's a cat.
What's that?
it's a cat.
That looks,
It does
Yeah.
make like the whole bird thing seem a lot more feasible, or like not plausible, but like you understand why people would be so mistrusting of birds.
Yeah, I have a
So things that fly around and conveniently always where you're at.
And they conveniently always sit on power lines to charge.
the
Yeah.
thing is, you can actually charge them on power lines.
yeah,
There's
wireless
I know.
charging.
I know.
No, one of my friends gave a presentation in a class at Trine about that birds weren't real, and she got an A on it.
Did she believe it?
wow.
Oh
That's
no,
impressive.
I'm not sure if she actually believes it or not.
That's a
but,
fun thing to research. I don't know.
yeah, she got an A.
I believe I can confirm that at least a few of them are not. They are
Yeah.
still real birds, unless they've duplicated human or bird flesh.
Bird anatomy.
If you shoot one, they do in fact explode in blood, not
That they
not
do.
wires.
That's good to know.
Some of them.
Do
Um,
not try to eat them though.
no.
Oh, something that I found like interesting though is like the guy that I was talking about, the CIA director that started the MK Ultra program. It's Alan Dollard, I think was his name, but he was the CIA director for like 20 years or something. But he got fired by JFK after the Bay of Pigs fiasco. And then after JFK was assassinated, he was put on the Warren Commission to review the JFK like assassination stuff. And I mean, today we know that all that stuff was crap.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the whole JFK assassination, like,
Right.
A lot
but
of it doesn't make
this
sense.
guy was on that commission, and he started the MK Ultra program.
Yeah.
Dude, villain.
kind of sketchy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and, like, they lost
Alan
JFK's
Dulles.
they lost JFK's brain. Like, they had it in a jar for study, and they lost it. Nobody knows where it is.
I thought he got hit in the neck.
He got hit in the face, I think.
Oh,
But,
And
like,
some say
there's
two times.
parts of his brain, I think.
Some say there were two shooters.
Yeah, went missing in the National Archives. How does a brain just go missing?
especially of a president.
Mhm.
Right. That is
Only
that
if
is crazy.
special strings are pulled.
Huh.
Yeah.
So like the JFK assassination, did that what role did that play in the Cold War? Like, did that affect anything with like the USSR?
That in particular did not. I mean, it affected the American people's view of everything.
Right.
Like, because he was the first Catholic president, and so some people think he was good because he was Catholic.
A lot of people loved him.
Yeah, a lot of people loved him.
Yeah, that was a big deal. Catholic versus Protestants. I remember
Yeah.
having to write about that.
But in the beginning, there were a lot of people afraid that since he's Catholic, what is he going to do to all the Protestants? How is he going to change the laws that affect us? He didn't do that. He didn't do anything that affected that. But then it's more like the people after him, like Reagan was a big like hard on communism guy.
And
So-
he ended up defeating it. Or I mean, he didn't particularly,
didn't.
but
But like trying to think of the communist leader,
Gorbachev,
Gorbachev.
Mikhail Gorbachev.
tear down this wall.
Yeah. The Berlin Wall, that was a big thing. Because like since Berlin was separated, like half of it, like it was in USSR controlled Germany, but it's separated between the Allies and the USSR.
Right.
And you could, like, the reason the USSR built that wall was because people kept on leaving their side of Berlin. So as to keep people in. And eventually they tried to, there's a road from our side of Germany to Berlin, and the USSR blocked off that road so we couldn't get supplies to our half of Germany.
Oh, so we would have to fly supplies?
And we did. The Berlin airlift. The biggest airlift operation in history. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Khrushchev, I think that's who that is. He liked to kiss people.
Wait, that's real?
Huh?
That's real.
Nah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that Reagan?
No, that's another
Nixon.
communist guy.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Looked like Nixon.
Gay.
Gay. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure that airlift thing that you were talking about where they
Mhm.
pulled in the supplies, it was a complete disaster till they sent in, what general was it?
I don't remember.
They sent in one certain general, and he like reorganized the whole thing because they had planes crashing
Mhm.
and all sorts of technical
Yeah,
troubles.
but they had like a plane landing every like 15 minutes or something.
I thought it was like 7 or 5.
Oh.
It was
Constant too.
plane lands, unloads, takes off, goes back. Constant, like 24/7.
I mean, there's like bombers too, like big
Yeah,
planes.
big planes.
Yeah.
Feed the city. That's
Mhm.
What an endeavor.
What an endeavor.
There's a fun little story about like Berlin. So there's a guy who would go from the west side of Berlin to the east side riding a bike every day, and he'd have a sandbag on the bike, and every day the communist guards would open the sandbag to make sure he's not smuggling anything. Do it over and over and over again. They were so focused on the sandbag that they didn't realize he was smuggling bikes. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it's funny.
That's very
Yeah.
funny.
Wait, read this quick. Peak prophecy. At the height of the crisis, planes arrived roughly every 30 to 45 seconds.
Oh,
Total
wow.
operations over 277,000 flights were made during the 15-month mission, delivering 2.3 million tons of supplies. A
Yeah.
record day in April 1949 saw 1,398 flights land within 24 hours.
That's a lot.
What? That's
A
crazy.
3-minute, this might have been the minute, a 3-minute, 30-second interval was strictly maintained for safety and to allow the landing, unloading, and takeoff. Yeah, man.
Wow.
Pilots frequently dropped candy to children, creating a moral boosting tradition.
The candy bombers.
Yeah, that and it just made the USSR look really bad. So,
Which was a win for us.
yeah, like 90% of the Cold War was just propaganda of
So-
communism's evil.
So whenever the Berlin Wall came down, was that kind of the signal of the end?
It was the beginning of the end. Like, then slowly, like, the Iron Curtain started to fall apart. Countries were like, oh, we can leave. They saw an opportunity to leave the Soviet Union.
Because what
So
what other countries were under the Iron
Like
Curtain?
Yugoslavia, I think they were the first to leave. They left, and then Greece. Is it Greece? Greece,
But I didn't
Poland.
realize Greece was under the Iron Current.
I mean, like,
I
it
think
was pretty extensive. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
those southern
I knew it
like,
was extensive. but
Mediterranean
I
countries.
never thought Greece
Yeah.
was.
Then all those countries started slowly leaving, and then
The
the
Baltic states.
Communist Party just sort of started to fall apart.
Okay.
Just, I mean, and they say Russia's not communist now, but I
Dude.
mean, yeah, economy-wise, economic-wise, it's probably not, but like party-wise, I mean,
So whenever the USSR officially disbanded, who was the president of Russia?
I'm not sure. I don't know who was elected first, the
Okay,
first president. It's probably somebody who was part of the party,
Probably, most likely.
but like Putin was in the KGB,
Right.
so he's part of the
okay. It was
Gorbachev. So was Gorbachev.
okay.
I think he
1991.
did he resign then?
He
Right,
resigned. 1991.
I wonder if he's still alive.
Boris
Yeltsin.
Yeltsin.
I feel like I remember his name.
Okay, yeah.
Boris Yeltsin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but so
Oh.
there's.
He died. He died only 4 years ago. Gorbachev.
I mean, the Cold War really wasn't all that long ago. I mean,
No, it wasn't.
all of our grandparents, that was their childhood, was the Cold War.
I mean, my dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, it ended in 91. That's
Mhm.
not long ago at all.
Yeah. And I mean, there's arguments to be made that the Cold War never ended, that we just sort of switched opponents.
Sure.
It's now the big thing's China.
Yeah.
China.
China.
So it just sort of switched focus on who's the enemy. Like,
Right. And it's the Cold War is not even a war. It's
No.
just a phrase or a term put to like the tension that exists.
yeah. I mean, the U.S. was so afraid of communism. Just like during the Red Scare, Senator McCarthy, like McCarthyism, it was just like, oh, if you're a suspected communist, you're getting arrested and
Crazy.
you're going to be on trial. Like there were a couple that were like convicted of being spies for the USSR, and they were put to death.
Wow. They put the death penalty on him.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
And they were killed.
Were they actually spies?
I think they were, but
Okay.
like
Still.
that was found out after the fact.
Oh, whew.
Oh,
Yeah. But-
Glad we got the right one.
I
That
mean,
would've
they
been
put a lot of people in jail,
Yeah.
like, for being even sympathetic toward the Soviet Union.
Hmm.
And there were multiple like different Red Scares throughout the Cold War.
Different periods where
Different periods where-
there was just a panic in America.
Yeah.
Do you know like the story of like the F-15?
Go.
There's a really good Mustard video on it, but I forget if it's the Foxbat. So this is like kind of peak Cold War. Everyone's fighting to get the best. Yeah, F-15 Foxbat. So develop MiG-25. So the USSR announces this MiG-25, which they're claiming has like, or it's setting like speed records. Like it's incredibly fast and like maneuverability and all this stuff. So America totally freaks out. They start the F-15 program, and then they make this F-15. And so like they have all these stats, which is like published officially by Soviet Union. And so they make this jet, which like can outperform like pretty much every aspect of it. They capture like a MiG-15, and they find out it's like held together with like duct tapes. Like pretty much just put the biggest engines you possibly can, put it on this plane. They thought the plane had like some advanced material. It turned out it was like lead or something, like something crazy.
Yeah.
So like, and then at the end, like Russia scared the United States into the F-15 program, and they made like the F-15, which was like complete air superiority for like, I mean, is it a perfect air? It might have maybe
It's-
one shot down or something, but it's like almost a perfect.
It has I think a real world KD ratio of like 1,000 something to 1.
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely under like they some of the records it sets. I mean, like they like took everything off possible on the F-15 and like launched it like in a vertical, and it like shattered all the records and stuff. But then the F-15 was like the real deal. Like there was no and buts or bad. Like it was just like a perfect fighter.
It's a great plane.
Thank you, Russia.
Yeah, I know. That was a
Yeah.
joke. It was like,
Yeah.
well, they made this plane like, oh, we got superiority, and the American flips out. And
Well,
makes
it's the same thing with like the SR-71.
the Blackbird, yeah.
Yeah, because like the U-2 spy plane got shot down over Russian territory, and the pilot was supposed to kill himself, but he didn't. And him and the wreckage of the plane were just paraded around the Soviet Union, and we didn't like that very much. So we made the SR-71 Blackbird like cruising speed of Mach 3.2,
Wow.
85,000 feet cruising altitude.
I mean, it's like in Top Gun Maverick, like what that first plane in the beginning, that pretty much was the SR-71 back in its day. I mean,
Never shot down.
just outrun everything.
Is that the plane that will hit its own bullets if you mount guns on it?
If you did, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, any plane going.
I think a dude did shoot himself
Fast.
down.
Yeah, I think
It hit.
A guy
somebody shot
I
themselves
think a
down.
guy shot himself down.
I've never thought of that, but that makes sense.
I
He
mean,
fired and then like a up and then dove into his own
Yeah.
bullets or something like that.
Yeah.
yeah, any plane going over like Mach 2 could probably. Yeah, I mean the F-15, I think at top speed like Mach 2.3 or something, but it's also the only aircraft to ever shoot down a satellite.
Yeah, he shot a satellite
We
down.
shot down
Wow.
one of our own satellites just to show Russia that we could
Think about that.
shoot down one of theirs too.
With a
That's
fighter jet, we
crazy.
shoot down an orbiting satellite.
Just to prove a point. Yeah, the F-15 it has a
Satellite
it
killer.
has a greater than 1 thrust to weight ratio, so it technically doesn't need wings to fly.
Wow.
There's one that was in some sort of accident and I lost a wing and was able to fly back to base.
Just like literally like
It's
the
just a
perfect
rocket.
plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a YouTube video. I'll leave this with the viewers to watch. It's by Mustard. This is what I was referring to. Mustard F-15. It's like the mini documentaries, but this dude makes absolutely that. They're just 15-minute long documentaries. Absolute immaculate. Best. I mean, super great, but this goes into detail and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Highly recommend. Why the F-15 terrorized the Soviets. That's the name of the documentary. But
Yeah.
good stuff.
Another channel I'd recommend watching is The Fat Electrician. He does a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of
I love that guy.
Yeah, he does like historical stuff and super funny. But yeah,
Okay.
I watch it pretty much all of his videos. Language isn't the best,
Yeah, I
but
would say. If I'm thinking of the right guy, yeah.
Oh, I know this guy.
Languages.
He's
Oh,
been
is
on,
he like a SEAL?
he's been on Joe Rogan, hasn't he?
no, he
Oh, I'm thinking of a different guy then.
yeah, he's like an electrician from Iowa who was in the army, I think.
That's awesome.
I've seen so many of this guy's clips. I did not know that was his name. He's got some of the craziest stories.
He's a good storyteller.
Yeah, I heard the story about the tree from that guy,
Mm-hmm.
but
A good storyteller who, like, even if you're somebody who like doesn't really care about history, if you have a good storyteller telling you stories from history, like he can
Mhm.
entertain anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I watch pretty much all his stuff. Yes,
well,
a lot of good stuff.
what's our time here? Hour and 23
probably start
minutes.
wrapping it up.
Any final thoughts, Garrett? Any fun facts, tiddly bits you want to leave with our audience?
I don't think I have any fun facts that come to mind.
Well, let's go around the circle and say like one of the areas of like Cold War history that we like find the most interesting, or that is our favorite or whatever. So I don't know, Seth, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just touched on it. I think the like air war and like the arms race was just fascinating. Of, you know, how quickly our jets advanced, and you know the capabilities and the missiles we developed, and like how you could see like from World War One when planes were introduced, it was like World War Two proving their dominance, and then the Cold War, like who can get the best plane. I think there's some really cool, like that is probably the most interesting spot, or one of the most interesting areas for me. And then there's just some of the crazy ideas, you know, like the flying aircraft carrier, which literally would like drop planes off its wings and stuff like that. Like all of our just crazy ideas. Those are probably the most interesting thing for me.
Yeah. You can end it, Brett.
I would say I really like the propaganda aspect of it, like where Russia and the U.S. were just trying to convince each other of what powers they had, and then like they had all these mind scientists and whatnot messing with random things. I find it really interesting of what the government's tried to cover up and like say, oh, that never happened, or it's very hard to find information on. At least what the U.S. government has tried to bury, it seems like, with the CIA being involved in different things. I find that really intriguing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, in a similar vein, yeah, I'm pretty similar to that. I already stated, but like I find the MK Ultra program extremely fascinating just because it is factual, but yet it ties into so many conspiracy theories, but the conspiracy theories all of a sudden don't seem that whack whenever you start to dig into it. And I mean, in recent years, we've learned that conspiracy theorists have been right about a lot of things.
Yeah, especially this island in the South Pacific.
Unnamed island.
Unnamed.
With unnamed visitors.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah. One of my favorite parts about I just sort of love the USSR, US, just like mine's bigger. No, mine's bigger sort of thing. Like it's like if you just look at it from a very broad perspective, it's so childish.
It really is.
Great word.
I got this new toy.
Very much so.
Yeah. Look at my new toy. Oh, I know. I want a better toy. Oh, look at it's just nations playing like 4-year-olds in the sandbox.
Here, look how incredible we are. Oh no. Or let's create the F8 or F15.
Yeah. Oh, you shot down my spy plane? Well,
Here's another one.
here's
Try
another
shooting
one.
this one down.
Try.
This one's way better.
Yeah. And I just enjoy that aspect of it, and looking at the different ways the USSR and the US just try to sort of screw each other over for really no reason. Like if they just left each other alone, the world would probably been just fine. But
Dude, Trump would have been the best president during the Cold War.
Trump would have been very similar to Reagan, I feel. I mean, Reagan was an actor in Hollywood first and became president.
Reagan
I mean,
had
just
Twitter.
the way that you described the Cold War, like that, it just made me think of Trump. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think of Trump in China.
It's like Trump in China.
China can't get away with it anymore.
Imagine if Ronald Reagan had Twitter.
Oh no.
It's gonna be such a weird aspect looking back. We have everything saved on Twitter.
Hmm.
Yeah, it is gonna be crazy.
I mean, yeah, because
X.
Yep, X.
yeah, because we don't know everything that Reagan or whoever said.
Like we
But-
even forget about so many
yeah.
presidents that they even existed, like Gerald Ford.
Gerald Ford, Trump is like everything Trump says he like puts on the internet.
Yep.
So in 50 years from now, it's going to be teachers teaching a history class by showing YouTube videos of, look what this guy did. And,
On June 7th, 2025, Donald Trump posted on his X account.
No,
Mhm.
Truth Social.
Is that what he does now?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't post on X.
Well, I think he's banned from X, or maybe not.
No,
I
Actually,
doubt
no,
that.
he has an account. Never mind.
but Truth Social is like his platform, like
Right.
his.
It wouldn't
Social
exist if
media.
it wasn't for him.
Does it seem like, how would a guy like, is it actually Trump posting? Sorry, this is.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah,
he
I
definitely
mean, like,
he definitely hires someone and tells him.
do you
a
even think he
general-
tells them? Like, it's like, it seems like, I don't know. I don't
He
know.
probably types in a ChatGPT prompt and.
But
it's
like, do you
"Here,
even think he
post
does
this."
that? Do you even think he does that?
No,
I have no idea.
he's probably way too busy. He had some like 25-year-old kid being like, "Okay, these are sort of the answers I would give," or like he'd call him and be like, "Hey, post this on my account."
See, I even wonder if it's like him coming up, or if they're like, they have like a creativity team and they just have to run everything by him. Like, hey, do you want us to post this video of your statue in Gaza, AI with Elon Musk? Sure. And then some intern comes up like, how does this? There ain't no way that how old is he? 70 something. That 70 whatever year old
Yeah,
man
75,
is
76.
coming up
Yeah.
with this. Maybe.
He's old.
Maybe. Who knows?
I don't know. He's definitely perfected the art of being on the front page of anything,
Yeah.
running the media.
Well, he just doesn't care. I mean, he can't be president again.
No.
Well,
So-
and
Well-
also, like you were just saying, like we have no questions about Trump. We know everything there is to know about the man, and we
Yeah.
know the exact way he thinks, just because of all the posts that he does.
Mm-hmm.
Or the
So-
way he wants us to think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He pushes really far and then settles for what he actually wants.
Yeah.
Greenland.
51. And we'll end on that. Thank you for
Gulf of
listening.
America.
Yep.
Dun dun dun. Thanks,
Done.
Garrett.
Yep.
Sweet.